Hi, and welcome to a Crop and Create delivered video hosted by Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. I'm designer Jen Gallacher, and today we're using the candy cane kit to create a 12 by 12 inch layout. I'm starting with this sheet of pattern paper that has this beautiful gray iCat pattern on one side and a red on the other. I'm going to take one of the 4x6 journaling cards from the Studio Calico pattern kit. It's a journaling card kit and they have patterns all over it. This particular one has snowflakes and it is not double-sided. Then I'm going to take some 4x6 inch photos, and I picked photos that had the red and blue that you find throughout this kit. And you'll see I have one where my son's face is covered and one without. And I did that intentionally so that I could layer. The reason I did this is because I want to see my son's face, and I can layer on top of the one that his face is obscured a little bit. So let's go ahead and attach this card. You can use a dot runner adhesive or you can use glue dots. It is a little bit thicker. You just want to make sure that you have enough room to put it on your page. Then we're going to place the photo that has my son's face obscured. And this one is going to be straight on, and we're going to slightly cover that card. Then we'll do the second photo, tilted, again, as I mentioned, overlapping. Then here along the bottom, we're going to place a couple of different pennant banners. And I've cut a bunch of strips of paper from the kit. This one is from the snowflakes. And I've cut them slightly less wide than the 12 inches of my pattern paper. And I'm just going to cut little triangles in the bottom of them before placing them on the page. I'm going to do that with this blue diagonal stripe pattern paper. And then there is this print paper. It has a cursive print and it says Seasons Wish or Season Wish. And on the other side it's a red, gorgeous red pattern. But I'm going to use the black on this one. I'm going to concentrate on some of the more lighter colors. And then I also have some journaling, which I have printed on the back side of the red basil cardstock in this kit. And I did that because this particular cardstock has a shimmer and a shine to it, and I have found that writing and printing on the shiny side is a little more difficult. Now before I place this onto my page, I'm going to do some stamping. We're going to use the exclusive stamp set that comes with this particular kit, and we're going to use this little phrase that says "Made with Love." And I'm going to ink this with a red ink that's a little bit darker than the print, or rather the cardstock that I've printed on. And I love the look of either handwriting with a sans serif font or a cursive font with printed journaling. So you can just see how that works there. All right, let's layer a little bit with these strips. First we'll start with this blue strip. We're going to place this right along the bottom edge of that card. Then we're going to take the journaling piece, and we're going to, let's leave that one off for a second. Let's put the script one on first. Sometimes as I get going, I realize I want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to tuck this strip. You can see it's a little bit wider than the blue strip right underneath. So a little bit is tucked under. I'm going to try and get this squared up with the bottom edge. And sometimes I'll pull out my ruler just to make sure that I'm getting what I want there. And before I finish placing that down, I'm going to take two additional journaling cards from the kit. One is just kind of a notebook piece, and one is one with a label. You could do the label at the top, but I'm going to do the label here at the bottom. And I'm going to remove that. I'm using a permanent adhesive, but because I am quickly moving as I place things on the page, I can change my mind. So now we can get these cards squared up at the bottom. I can come back and tuck in this strip. I'll just get it placed here, and now we can add the journaling. Now again, because it has a shimmer and shine on that cardstock, sometimes you need a little bit extra adhesive. Again, we're going to tuck it, but you want to make sure that you can read that stamped phrase that we added. Then we're going to take some of the ribbon that came in this kit. I love this little star ribbon here. And how I'm going to attach it is with a tiny attacher from Close to My Heart. And I'm going to place it towards the top of my piece of blue pattern paper. And this particular stapler has a long reach, so I'll get it exactly how I want, and then I'm going to staple right through the ribbon. You might have to staple it twice to hold it in place. But because this ribbon has a shape to it, those star shapes, I just wanted to make sure that it was being held down. So again, stretch it taut, get it where you want, and then use that long reach stapler. And I again added 2 little small staples to the actual ribbon. Now if you find that it's still sticking up like this one is, what you can do is I'm going to take some glue dots, place them on my fingers, and then where it's kind of poking up a little bit, I'll just place a glue dot behind it. And I won't do it for every star, I'll just do it on enough stars so that it starts to lay a little more flat. This is just a trick I use. If you're comfortable with machine stitching, you could easily just stitch this ribbon right to your border. So there's one of the ribbon borders. We're also going to take the striped ribbon. I'm going to cut it down a little bit, and I think I'll cut it at a diagonal. So I'm using fabric scissors to do that. You can use your sharp paper scissors, but they do get dull after a while of doing this. So again, let's pull out our stapler, get the placement where we want, and then staple right into that ribbon. Again, I'm using 2. You could use 1 staple. Again, pull that ribbon taut. Make sure that your whole strip along the bottom is straight. You can also use temporary adhesive to help hold it in place if you find that it's moving around too much. There we've added a couple of different ribbons. Now for the title of the page, I'm going to use one of the wood veneer shapes. I'm going to use the hello, and then I'm going to use this acrylic piece that says join. It's in a dark blue. And to adhere them to the page, again, I'm going to use glue dots. You can use smaller glue dots if you want. Or one trick I use is I place glue dots like right behind the O, so you can't see exactly where I'm placing that adhesive. Now for the joy, because it's a little bit darker of an adhesive, or rather color on the clear acrylic, and it's see-through, but because it's darker, we can go ahead and place that adhesive right behind that piece. So our title says Hello Joy. We're going to add a puffy sticker that says Together Happiness right at the top of the photo on the right, and we're going to tilt it the same way that it's tilted over here. We're going to take some of these clear snowflake stickers from the kit, and I've cut them with the backing on them so I could see the placement of where I want to put these. And we're going to put one right on that little label piece, and then I like to do clusters, so I have a medium one. And again, I do think about how the lines of the snowflake actually run. It's just a little designer tip. And then we want to marry the 2 cards, so I'm going to place them on both cards. And then with this fun little sticker sheet, these are where the puffy stickers came from. We'll go ahead and fill in some of these snowflake stickers with some star stickers, just to dress it up and bring some color into this page a little bit. You can see the little star stickers that I've stuck in there. You could also use these little circular dots and place them in the center of some of these snowflake pieces. Then I want to add some more staples. So I'm going to add a staple to my journaling piece. Again, I'm using 2. Now one trick is you can see that I can't quite reach all the way in. So I'm going to cheat. And I'm going to lift that journaling a little bit. I'll add the staples and then place it back down. So if you can't reach all the way into your page, simply lift the item, or before you place it on the page, add those staples. Then to add some color, we're going to take some of the stickers in the trees, and we'll just layer a few of those on the card here at the top. And then here at the bottom, I'm going to take some of the ribbon. I'm going to fold it in half to create a little loop here. I'm going to do that in the gray stripe as well as the snowflake. And then I'll just use a glue dot to hold that fold in place. So one glue dot, and then we're going to attach that right behind that red strip. And I'll just use my fingers to kind of plump it back up. Again, use a glue dot to close the fold. And then use a glue dot to place it onto the page just behind that red strip. That just creates some texture on the page, and we've used up 4 of the ribbons included with this kit. So here's the first layout using the candy cane kit. Be sure to tune in and watch the other 2 videos that coordinate with this beautiful kit.